the only radio show where FM means full moon. Hello, listeners. I'd like to start tonight's show with a small public service announcement. As we start the pagan New Year, it's important to be aware of the intricacies of any and all rituals or ceremonies you might be partaking in, since a wrong term in your celebration chant could lead to the accidental summoning of a local god, rather than a good harvest. If this happens, it's important to remember what each god may want as a way of apology. Be sure to brush up on your lore ahead of your practices, just to be as safe as is possible with these kinds of things. With that covered, let's move on to our current cycle's news. There have been some new sightings of the Mothman phenomenon in Point Pleasant, West Virginia, with witnesses being injured, ill, or in some cases killed due to the violent nature of these sightings. As we know, the Mothman is, for the most part, a moth that is over 6 feet tall, with an equivalent wingspan. It should also be noted that while moths of a regular size may be quiet, docile creatures, they do in fact make a noise. When this noise is extrapolated into a body that is 6 feet tall, it can cause some very nasty effects in those who hear it. Likewise, moth larvae mostly eat fabrics, while most adults don't eat at all. This fact should not be extrapolated, since it will do you no good to think about. Our final notes on moths is that they have 6 legs, and that the reason for their attraction to light is unknown. As such, do not carry a torch when outside, or leave any lights on in your place of residence during the night, since it may be more than enough to find you. In tonight's Science and Nature segment, we have news of a new fungus that has been provisionally called a toad egg mushroom. This mushroom infects living creatures, causing small holes to appear on a creature's back. These small holes will later expand, much like a Suriname toad having offspring. However, what will emerge from these gaps in the skin is still unknown. The identity of those infected has yet to be determined, but if you feel like you may have any knowledge on the infected, check the skin on your back in the nearest reflective surface as soon as possible. If infected, honey has been shown to dull any pain, but not prevent whatever comes next. Now it's time for this cycle's werewolf report. Since our last cycle, there have been 2 turnings, 1 death, and 2 townsfolk affected with lycanthropy, as predicted during our first show in the double event month. In addition to these statistics, there have been 4 vampire sightings, 5 deaths associated with vampires, and 4 citizens infected with vampirism. These statistics, as always, apply to your local area. Our condolences go out to anyone in your local area. In this cycle's music segment, we have reports of a buzzing sound coming from inside the walls of a house in Australia. The buzzing sound began several days ago, but has increased to a volume unable to be generated by even a large swarm of insects. So far, no holes in the walls have been found, nor any other kind of entrance for an insect to go through. Exterminators have been called, but have disappeared without trace with each visit. Each disappearance has seemed only to increase the sound within the house. The owner of the house could not be reached for questioning, as they have also disappeared. Well, listeners, the whispers from the station floor have all returned, which means it's time to end tonight's show. As always, we end our show with this cycle's numbers segment. The numbers announced on each show contain the horoscope for the coming lunar cycle. May this horoscope help you survive until next time. You're listening to the Midnight Minute, and I wish you good night, and may you stay safe until the next full moon.
25, 3, 7, 24, 19, 25, 15, 20, 12, 11, 9, 26, 5, 21, 1.